Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Switch to Coaching free live session. In this 1 hour today, I have two sensational coaches with me who are my colleagues, who are professional certified flow coaches and graduates of the Flow Coaching Institute. So, during our time together, we will be sharing with you about our stories of our coaching journey, about how we transitioned into successful coaching careers. You can ask us anything about what it is really to be a professional coach. How much money can a professional coach make, and how do we find clients, and the journey to certification, why certification matters. And you can ask us anything about coaching, professional coaching, the life of a professional coach. And also, during your, we've received, let me just say this, we received so many questions from participants who signed up, and we will answer them all. We will do our best. And then during this time, if anything comes to you, of course, new questions and comments, please use the chat box to type your questions and comments, and we will do our best to answer them all. And what else? Yes, let me introduce you my guests. So I have two sensational coaches with me, Candy Ashby and Sydney Matrix. Candy Ashby is a human resources expert and Flow graduate, and she holds ICF International Coaching Federation PCC Professional Certified Coach credential. She's a Flow faculty and mentor. And Sydney Eve Matrix is a professor of digital marketing, and we're so lucky that she chose Flow to have her professional coaching certification, and she completed the advanced coaching certification program with Flow. She's a certified professional coach. She's a consultant, and I would say she's a marketing guru. I heard so many wise advice, wisdom from Sydney in the past months. Okay, ladies, shall we start?
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. Candy, I think everyone, as we all have been there, many years ago, everyone is curious about the journey of success in this profession, right? So, can you please share with us your journey, your coaching journey, and what brought you success?
So, my coaching journey began in the spring of 2020, which seems not so long ago, but seems so far long ago. I started out with the Core Foundation Spring Intensive, and from there, I went on to Module 6. During that time, building my coaching practice hours, and really aiming towards receiving my PCC. Starting with my ACC, so the Associate Credential Coach, is 100 hours. So I built it through offering coaching through friends, family. Also, I was fortunate enough in my work position to be able to coach through that as well. So I received enough hours to apply for my ACC. From there, I built my practice through a couple of larger corporate clients where I continued to hone my practice, get some experience, and just keep building my hours so I could apply for my PCC. Now, the good thing about taking modules 1 to 5 and module 6, it set me up with all the education I needed to be able to apply for my PCC. So it was kind of like I had everything I needed other than my hours and writing the coaching knowledge assessment. So it was I really felt solid in my foundation in order to go forward. I now work from 10 till 5, Monday through Thursday. I also teach for Flow when we have times, but that's not usually in my 10 till 5. And I've built a 6-figure business coaching. So I'm very happy where I am. Oh, Talia, you're on mute.
I saw that. Yeah, I heard you a lot of times talking about work and life balance, and also like, doing what you really love to do, but at the same time having time to spend with your family, and enough time to really care for yourself also.
Absolutely. So time affluence is just important to me as financial affluence. So working 4 days and then having a day for myself, which is usually Fridays, and then time to spend with my family on the weekend. So work-life balance is something that is near and dear to my heart, and it accounts for probably 50% of my coaching clients.
That's nice. Thank you. Thank you, Candy. And Sydney Eve. So, can you please also share about yourself, your coaching journey, and what are you up to these days? Because you always innovate and find new ways of like promoting your business, and I'm curious, and I'm sure our audience also is curious to get to know you more.
Okay, you can hear me okay? Great.
Perfect.
Okay. So I was hired as a coach at the business school at the university. And then I realized that I wanted to learn how to be a real coach because I didn't have any training. I was really just being a mentor and maybe a consultant. And so I found Flow Coaching, and I had a really, I think, a unique journey through my coaching training because I did all the modules 1 to 5 in an accelerated format, which I thought was so great, really focused and intense. Then I did module 6, wrote an exam. And so I was a Flow, certified professional coach. But then I decided I wanted to do your business coach training too, because it just made sense for my job. So I started and I went through 1 to 6 again, which was so great. Different cohort, different teachers, fantastic. Different students to practice with, all good. So I went through 1 to 5 again, and with a business edge to it. So it was actually quite different. The questions that got asked and the expectations people had. So we had all the foundations and fundamentals, but there was that business edge to it that carried through. So that was fantastic. And then because I'm addicted to Flow, I did the expressive arts coaching, which is so unique. I don't know if there's anything else out there like it. And so I spent several weeks learning how to coach using creative tools like art supplies or movement or journaling or digital tools. So that was really valuable to me. So then I did the Coaches Mastermind, which really focuses on how to launch your coaching business. And we could ask, each other all kinds of questions and advice because it was a peer-to-peer mastermind with additional mentoring on top, and more hours where we could practice coaching together. So you might say that I'm just hanging out, waiting for Flo to introduce more programs that I can take. But I just love the community, and you always have the support, and there's no question and no situation that could happen that Flow people haven't already been through and can advise you on. So that's my journey.
Thank you, Sydney. And are we ready for the questions? Should we bring them up?
Bring them on.
Yay, yes. Okay, so here is our first question from Diana G. What is the suggested learning path to become a professional certified coach? Candy, that's for you, I guess.
Okay. So in your journey to become a professional certified coach through ICF, Flow really gives you everything you need by taking modules 1 to 5 and taking module 6 as well. So you have enough education to reach the PCC level, professional certified coach level. Flow also helps you with the mentor hours that you need. They help you with your oral exam. So it's kind of a really great package. Everything's packaged up there so that when you go forward, all you need to bring PCC, you need 500 hours. So you can either go ACC where you have 100 hours and enough education and the mentoring and the oral exam, and then move on and submit your hours and write your coach knowledge assessment exam. Also, you are very well prepared to take the coach knowledge assessment exam at the end of module 6, even at the end of module 5. Module 5 really gives you enough educational hours to become ACC. The only thing is that after you've gone from modules 1 to 5, you then would additionally have to submit an oral exam and have a certain amount of mentor hours. In modules 1 to 5, you really get a really good foundation in coaching. Module 6 helps you develop each competency, so you really feel confident, and then you get to hone your coaching style along with having your mentor hours, getting really great feedback from other coaches and your peers. So the learning path is modules 1 to 5 or modules 1 to 6. Ideally gives you everything you need to be able to confidently apply for your ACC and then move up to your PCC.
Wonderful. Thank you, Candy. I just want to say, to everyone who is curious about the journey of certification, it's a process and it takes time. And we all did it. I did it many years ago. I'm a master certified coach now for many years. And I completed my certification 17, 18 years ago now. It takes time. And the most important thing to remember during that time is to enjoy the journey, to see this as a practice. And instead of just trying to put so much pressure on yourself to jump to the final step, just enjoy the process, enjoy the transformation, because it's not only that you're learning a new profession, but also it's a very transformational journey. So enjoying it is the key. And that's why we're transitioning into coaching, right? That's why I became a coach. I really wanted to enjoy what I was doing, how I'm earning my life, right? So that's why starting with the education training and then practicing regularly and then working with your mentors and then preparing for the exam, it's a practice. See it as a practice and enjoy. That's the most important thing to remember. So next question, please. Steve. Yes. Hi, Steve. So, if you could offer one piece of advice to a coach looking to leave full-time employment to build their own coaching practice, what would it be? Yes. Let me start, Steve. So, let me explain how I did it, and learn from my mistakes. And maybe you won't do what I did. And then we will discuss other ways of doing it, because I help so many other people to transition into coaching. So, what I did, um, the first part was like I became a therapist first, from a corporate marketing strategic career. And to become a therapist took about 4 years in total to transition into it. And then I realized that I really missed the dynamism of that corporate life and, the business context. And also, I was getting inquiries from my former employers and colleagues. So then I decided to become a certified coach. So I jumped into it. And I became a certified coach, which took about a year in terms of like completing all of the certification steps. And at that time, I was a therapist. But what I did before I became a therapist, I had a full-time job and full-time salary, right? So I just quit. And the next day, I quit my corporate job. And the next day, I was a student with no salary, some savings, but the anxiety was big. The anxiety of like, what if I can't succeed? So the anxiety was there. So don't do it. If you don't have big savings, don't just, quit and then jump into one thing. But if you have savings to buy yourself enough time to focus on your practice, then it's a good idea. You know your life better than us. You're the expert of your life. That's one way. The other way, which I would recommend as a better way and smarter way to transition into coaching, is if you have a full-time job, you can start to take courses. And Steve did that. Steve was a student, I think, of the business coaching certification program. And then build your practice. One of our faculty members, Dan Grisoni, for example, he took the courses, he completed his certification, he coached, he really focused on spending enough time to build his practice. He coached, he became an ACC while he still had a full-time employment. And then slowly he transitioned into coaching after he got his ACC. So that's another way, doing things in parallel. A lot of people do it. I hope this helps. And Candy, do you want to say a few words? Do you want to share a piece of advice with Steve and others?
Absolutely. So coaches need coaches. So maybe coach it out with one of your peers. What I did was I went part-time as I started to, first I stayed full-time, started coaching in the evenings on the weekend. So there is, some short-term pain for some long-term gain. Then as I built more clients, I went part-time at my full-time job and part-time on coaching. Now, while you're part-time on coaching, I also needed time to work on my business, just not in my business. So making sure that I took time to make sure I was reaching out to my network, that I was building presence in my social media, really working on things to get me a step ahead and living the life as a coach. So momentum. Talia always talked about forward momentum. So some days you'll, make great strides, and some days you're just crawl into the door. So you have to be prepared for that. So if you can set yourself up for success. So I did, as I was working full time, put some money aside, made sure I had enough clients, really doing, as we teach in business, doing your business plan and knowing, what you need to move ahead, and then slowly moving into your coaching practice and building your clients.
Thank you, Candy. That was awesome. And maybe next question then. Yeah. Can we bring next question? Okay, Elizabeth. I think Elizabeth is a current student, so please confirm that we are able to start live coaching independently and receive a fee with the 1 to 5 module program. Candy, what would you say? Because your experience is very relevant. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I did start coaching after modules 1 to 5. You do have, help me here, Talia. I'm sorry, having some brain fog. So I don't remember. At the end of module 5, you are a certified flow coach.
That's true.
Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. So you do have a certification in flow coaching, which is recognized by the ICF, and you can coach after 1 to 5. You'll have all the tools in your toolbox to know how to coach and to do no harm. And as you practice and move on, you're building those hours. So yes, absolutely, you are prepared after modules 1 to 5, and you're able to charge and start your business.
Wonderful. Thank you, Candy. And for those of you who are thinking to apply for ICF credential, like ACC, PCC, we always recommend that you start to coach with or without a fee as you are in module 1. So don't wait it to be perfect. Tell your network that you are a student coach and reach out to them and just coach, so it's important that you stay in practice. It's wonderful. Thank you. Next question, please. Annalisa Blario. Yes, Annalisa. Hi, Annalisa. So what kind of past professional experiences are worth mentioning in a coach profile? I think that's a great question for Sydney.
And what are the steps to prioritize after certification? Past professional experience, I think that every coach needs a niche. Or if I was American, I would say a niche. I think that's how you say it in the United States. But I think we all need to have an edge, an area of specialization, which isn't to say that we wouldn't take on clients who have slightly different goals than the ones that are most obviously aligned. But your academic credentials and your professional credentials, like your life experience and your job experience, they add up to your edge, to your area of specialization. I'm guessing that is the case for not everyone, but many of us. And so that's where, if you have a background in a big academic background, you might want to think about whether or not you want to coach other academics who are making, life job transitions, or opening a side hustle, or there's so many ways that your experience can help you if that's the client that you want. So I guess I would think about, what have you done in your life and work, but also who's your ideal client, and what might they need from you, and that will determine how you frame your own coach persona when you go to market and look for clients.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Sydney. And a few other things about the coach profile. So when you have become a coach, like when you become a coach, certified professional coach, let's distinguish that, you already have a background. You already have work experience, educational experience. Most of us do anyways. So what part of your past experience and education that you want to reflect in your profile? That's a question. And also, would that experience attract clients to you? And or what type of clients would that experience attract to you? So I always share my story in our classes. I had, when I left my corporate job, I had a burnout, and like, a lot of executives do. So I was an executive and I had a burnout. And I really said, like, oh no, I'm not going to go back to corporate again. Just, I was done with corporate. And then after I became a coach, all I was attracting to myself was corporate executives who wanted to be coached. So paying attention to that, I realized that this is what I'm attracting. So then who I want to be with them when I'm coaching them was the next question. So it's a journey. It really is. And your coaching profile is not a static, like a set stone asset of your persona. It's very dynamic. So please have the flexibility to change, to adjust, to add, to omit, to just, keep it dynamic. That's very important and relevant also. Can we bring it again, because we didn't answer one question there. There was another question. Can we go back to the previous question, please? Yeah, what are the steps to prioritize after certification? First of all, this is like exercising. Like coaching is a profession similar to exercising, like having regular exercise to stay fit, right? So that's why you need to keep practicing every week, not maybe every day, but every week. To practice means like coaching, to coach and be coached. These are two essentials. So I always joke, like, coach everyone, even cab drivers, just coach whomever you can coach, just coach. Okay. And then really focus on observing yourself, like, who you are attracting to yourself as a coach, like as clients. And and also, if you can hire a coach, work with a coach and be coached, that's very important. So just, experiencing that journey as a coachee, as a client is essential. I had hired in the past 5 or maybe 6 professional coaches. They coached me. So I knew, how I felt as a client. Now, and so those are very important. Mentoring also is important, like, having an ongoing mentoring and supervision relationship, a person who will cheer up for you, a person, a senior person. But by senior, I mean like, a person who's an experienced senior coach, listening to you and helping you to hone your coaching skills. That's very important too. And as Candy emphasized, doing something about the business side every week, like, not only working in it, but on it, like, as Candy said, it's also very, very important. Very important. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Abdul. So modules 1 to 6 cover life coach or business coach or both. There are 2 tracks. There are separate tracks. Sydney, why don't you answer this?
Abdul, that was my question as well. And so the first one that was offered was the 1 to 6 life coach. And questions about business kept coming up because we were all about to open businesses as coaches, but it was a much more general focus on life coaching. And so when I completed that and completed module 6, was I ready to open a business? Yes, absolutely. I think I was. I had everything I needed. However, I wanted to know, well, I was really curious, what would 1 to 6 be like if it had a focus on business? Not because I'm opening a business, but because I want to coach people who are looking for a business coach. So I took it again, and it was quite different. I mean, we still covered foundations and fundamentals. We had all the tools, but people were in a different mindset when they came to the class, and the instructor made sure to address how this that we were learning would apply to business coaching clients. And so for me, if I had to do it again, I would still do both of them because they were sufficiently different. But I think that most people would only do one. And if I had to choose, it wouldn't depend on my preferences. It would depend on what clients I want to work with. Because if I really think that I want to be a business coach, then the choice is obvious. That's my perspective. I cannot hear you, Talia.
I keep forgetting to unmute myself. Sorry about that. Yeah, Annalisa has a third question. Is it better to start working as a coach in a company or coaching studio than as a private professional? So this is a very personal question and personal preference, but I would like to hear from both of you about what you like to do most, or like what is better for you.
I can start. I've done both. So I worked for a corporate company that supplied me with clients. It was a great opportunity for me to concentrate on my practice and getting in my hours while I was also building my own personal clients, and they allowed me to do that. So for that track, it was great because I got to build my skills, my confidence, knowing that I had money coming in and not really having to market hard. While I was also picking up pace with my networking, letting people know that I was a coach. And as I grew my confidence, I was more confident to tell people, yeah, I'm a coach and I'm a really great coach. And then I had testimonials to back them up. And it's so fulfilling as a coach when you get to see your clients make a shift, or you see the progress in your clients, and it really lights you up and gives you that little extra, because we all know that not every day is sunshine and rainbows. There's some days you feel you're knee deep in mud. But on the days that you're knee deep in mud, you have to remember the days that are sunshine and rainbows, and you get to help people, meet their goals, work on their journeys, enjoy their journeys. So for me, that path was the best for myself. Sinead?
I've done both as well, and the experience was really, really different because when I was working as a coach for an organization, then there was all my clients were coming to me with a really similar set of goals and needs and challenges and this and that. And when I was working as a private coach, private professional coach, then I had a completely different niche of clients coming to me, and they were much more diverse. So I think that's my experience, that it was a difference in terms of clients and sort of scope, and my experience as a coach was more diverse when I was working for myself. However, I think what Candy just mentioned, the marketing aspect is huge, because if you're working for an organization or a company, you don't have to market yourself. You've got the contract, you've got the position, the clients know they can come to you, and they do. When you're out hanging your own shingle as a independent coach, there's tons of challenges in terms of attracting people, getting the word out, promotion, setting your prices, getting your online presence or your business cards, your other marketing assets, getting those testimonials. And that's why I stuck with Flow all the way through to the coaching mastermind, which we talked about opening a coaching business and marketing, self-marketing, all the way through from modules 1 to 6. But I still wanted that peer-to-peer experience and exchange. So that's where the mastermind really filled in the gaps.
Thank you, Sydney. And Noiki, what aspects do you take into account, and how do you decide the pricing of your sessions? Okay, so let's answer this, ladies. So what I would say is, depending on where you are in the world, in which country you are in, and your network, and who do you have access as clients, your pricing will change for sure. And also depending on the type of like the coaching, like executive coaching, leadership development, corporate, or life coaching, or like couple coaching, depending on the type of coaching, your price might vary too. And also your offer, and Sydney, I'm sure, has a lot to say about this. What type of offer do you have? By what I mean by that, so for example, I offer coaching sessions, like 6 coaching sessions. Each session is 1 hour, and my clients are mostly executives or like entrepreneurs, but I also coach youth. And so my minimum session package is 6 sessions, because that's, I think is optimal. But for example, if you're offering a different package, your price might be different. Or if you're coaching, let's say, 50 executives from the same company, your price, your hourly rate will be different. So you can charge hourly rate, you can charge a package fee, you can charge a daily rate. All these options are available. This is all I want to say for now. Sydney?
To decide the pricing of my sessions, I took advice from Talia and some of the other instructors, Candy. And I went to market with a beta offer. And so, again, borrowing Candy's words, like, to grow confidence, the best confidence is going to come from, getting out there and doing a beta offer, maybe where your pricing is considerably lower than you would, you aim to charge. So you might say, well, I'm going to do, one session for $9, which is kind of ridiculous, but it can start at any price, or you can buy 3 sessions 1 month with me for, usually it's going to be $500, but I'm going to take 3 clients at $250 in exchange for a testimonial. And so I think to find your best price point, you're going to have to do market research. So get out there on the web and talk to people, or be a bit of a sleuth and see what's the market rate. So in my niche, I do coaching online. I do coaching via Voxer or some other messaging app. And the going rate in my field is $1,000 for a day of 8 hours of asynchronous access to coaching. And that's a little bit of coaching / consulting, but mostly it's about the client asking questions and, coming up with ideas, and me asking better questions, because I learned all the great questions, magic questions, from Flow. So if I wanted to charge $1,000 per day for that type of coaching experience, I probably would go to market at something like $497 and sell a few of them, get some experience, work out the wrinkles, get some testimonials, and then maybe go back at $695, and 3 or 6 months later, I would sneak it up again, each time letting the world know that there's a price increase coming. So if they would like to purchase now, they need to use the sessions within 30 or 60 days, but they can buy at this price before it goes up on Tuesday. You know, that kind of price increase promo. People appreciate hearing about it.
So you already shared some tips also on marketing as well. Thank you, Sydney. And can we, go back to the Candid? Is there anything that you would like to add?
Absolutely. I think what Sydney said about knowing your market and knowing what your market will bear, as well as what you had said about where you are in the world, right? So rates are very different in different areas, and knowing your niche and what your market can bear just solidifies what your offer can be.
Yeah, thank you. We can go, we can bring the next question. And in the meantime, I want to say one thing. So, in any marketing process, in any kind of like launching of a new product, new service, there's a process. And the process starts with, like, as Sydney mentioned, like you have to test. So, you can try different price points. Like you can start with, let's say, I'm just giving these as examples. Please don't think that they're absolute. Like $50 per session per hour. And then you can test $90. And then you can test $100. And you can test $120, $150, $300, $500, So just test and then see if there is demand. If people are interested, and ask for feedback also. That's very valuable. I kept asking feedback from my clients in the early days. So you're trying to create awareness about telling the world that you exist as a professional certified coach, and tell them, if you are a flow student coach, just tell them about the methodology also that will distinguish you from others. That's very important. I see some LinkedIn profiles, people just say coach. What does it mean? Really, what does it mean? What kind of a coach you are? So just tell them that you are a flow certified professional coach, or flow certified coach, or flow certified business coach. That tells people something, that tells them that you are an expert in a specific science-based methodology, right? So because those things are part of pricing, like, it's important because people want to respect you and value you to, pay you for your service, right? So it's important. So create some awareness. And in the meantime, keep coaching. And then with the ultimate aim of creating a loyal client base. I have clients that refer me, new clients from 10 years ago. I have clients that I coached. They bring, when I coach them, their child was 7 years old. Now their child is 17, 18 years old, and they want me to coach their teenagers. So that's very important, that you build your skill set and you build a loyal client base. And that's the best marketing in this, because this is a profession about humans, right? It's about relationship building. So relationship building must be part of your marketing strategy. That's very important. And
Talia, do you mind if I add in one thing?
Yeah.
So if you find that you're not selling your coaching, you're not getting any clients, it's probably not your price. It's probably not your price. It's probably that not enough people know about you. Relationship marketing just like Talia has just said. So if you put yourself out there at, $500 for 3 sessions and nobody bites, how many people actually saw that? Do you have a list of people that you're collecting their emails? Do you have some kind of sample of your work, some kind of free thing that we can sign up and get on your email list, and then you can email us and tell us about yourself, your practice, your offer? So the price is the thing that we worry about, but I would challenge you to think about whether or not enough people have seen your offer, because prices generally, it's probably not the problem.
I agree with you.
People need to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah. And also when they feel like you are and your service is what they need, they will definitely buy, and they will stay with you. They will become loyal. So that's very important too. And we have another question from, I think, Noiki. I'm not sure if you answered that question. Can you bring her or their questions? So how can I grow and stay on top of my game when the only people in the session are myself and my client? I think what you're referring to is coaching presence, like staying present to your client and keeping your coach presence and coach position during the session. I think that's what we call it as, coach presence. So we teach in modules 1 to 5, we teach something we call it as coach presence, paying attention to, like, listening actively for what the client is saying and not saying. And you're multitasking, of course. In the beginning it's difficult, and then asking questions, or like summarizing, or inserting and incorporating other tools and processes that you learn, and simultaneously tracking time, right? Just having a meta position to see where you are in the session. So Noiki, if you are a flow student, and I get a sense that from your question you are, the architecture of the flow coaching session is your navigation system. Just have it in front of you, really, wherever you are, have it, and then just from time to time, just look, and then just to identify where you are in the session. That will help you to stay on top of your game. Don't think about competencies, don't think about anything else, just the architecture. That will show you the way from the beginning till the end. Wonderful. Do I need to have any businesses to be? No, you don't have to have any business experience to be a business coach, because we show you, we give you, and demonstrate, and also provide you with business coaching tools, like coaching specific tools that are relevant to coaching in a business context, which means to coach people that are entrepreneurs, business owners, managers, executives, or people who are looking for starting a new business, for example. So if you practice through those tools and processes, they help. So you don't need a business experience to become a business coach and get your certification. So what certification programs do Flow Coaching Institute offer? It is here that I thought, yeah. Okay, Candy.
Yes. So ICF, Core Foundations, it gives you a solid foundation in the coaching architecture and takes you right through modules 1 to 5 and covers everything you need to be able to begin your coaching from there. The business coaching, ICF business coaching, is just another arm of that, and also gives you the foundation, but also adds in some tools to help you coach business executives. We cover different types of business analysis tools, and they are integrated with the core foundations. Now, going to ICF, the all-inclusive models 1 to 6, again, whether it's through the business arm of it or just the core foundations arm of it, you're going to take each part of those competencies and take your foundation and really dig in and solidify your knowledge. You're also going to have some time with your mentor coaches. You'll be able to get feedback on what you're doing really well and how to improve some of the challenges you may be having. And also be able to hone your style while also listening to your peer style. So you get to kind of pick up and hear how other students are doing, how other students are asking questions, and you really be sometimes be able to see and learn more in depth the competencies when you're listening for them in someone else's recording. I will defer to Talia to talk about the expressive arts coaching certification.
Thank you, Candy. So, expressive arts coaching means like, using or coaching through the through creative tools and using arts and incorporating arts and some creative processes into your coaching practice, whether when coaching individual clients or when coaching groups or even corporate executives. I use a lot of expressive arts coaching with corporate executives. Then they appreciate it a lot. And it's really about, it's the same thing, like you have sessions. Sessions are a bit longer, not 1 hour. I would recommend 1.5 hours to give enough time for the art making. So you start with goal setting, and then somewhere along the conversation, you, of course, offer, always ask permission and offer clients and give them some options about, like, art making or like some creative activities. It might be journaling, it might be painting, it might be movement, it might be anything. And then you always finish with action steps and sometimes homework too. So why is it different? It's when we are immersed in the arts, we experience flow, right? We feel connected with our soul. It's really about going deeper in your coaching practice and making that soul to soul connection with your clients, helping them unleash their creative potential.
Could I say something? Oh, it's so good. Oh, I loved it. Oh, it was so fun. And you can just see, if we look at these different programs, you can see how if you stick with flow, you're going to be able to do life coaching. You might be able to do business coaching. You might be able to do creativity coaching, and so you'll have a variety of different programs and different experiences. The creativity coaching for me was so relevant because I wanted to run sessions where we were creating things together to express ourselves. And so I use digital art. So we did vision boards and mood boards and other kinds of digital artwork, and then discussed, how it represented where we were and where we were going. And it's just fantastic to have that that specialization, right? That you can just add to the different services and programs that you design as a professional coach. It was so much fun. And also it was a great excuse to go to the store and buy school supplies, plasticine and markers and paints, which I haven't had any of those things in my life for a while. But I found that it was a perfect example of the flow philosophy, where you're in this moment and you lose track of time, and it's pleasurable, but there's also this edge, this challenge, a creative challenge. And so you get to the end of the session and you just feel like you've accomplished something, but you're also kind of tired, right? You're tired and inspired. So I would strongly suggest that you check out that really unique offering, Expressive Arts Coaching, which you won't find anywhere else.
Thank you, Sydney. I love it too. Yeah, it's one participant said recently that it really helps you to balance the right brain, left brain thinking in a coaching session when you incorporate arts, expressive arts into the coaching sessions, because the current structures of societies and systems are more wired towards using the left brain, right? Like, thinking, problem solving, then more problem solving, and then more problem solving, right? So we keep thinking and staying in the frontal lobes and maybe some upper cortex thinking, which keeps us thinking and then thinking and thinking. Whereas sometimes when we have emotions, we don't develop that language of expressing our emotions. So we need nonverbal tools and processes to support those people. That's where expressive arts and creativity comes in. And I see we have one more question from Rick Oxton. I completed 1 to 5 and I'm in 6 now. Is it advisable to apply to ICF now to start coaching? Wait to apply to ICF until completing module 6. Rick, I would recommend to complete module 6. And a lot of people don't know this, and I will share with everyone here. So when you complete module 6, which is the all-inclusive advanced coaching certification, it takes you not only to ACC credential, Associate Certified Coach credential from the ICF, but it takes you all the way, carries you all the way up to PCC credential like Candy did, right? So a lot of people don't know that if you have enough coaching experience hours, which is 500 coaching experience hours, to apply for ICF PCC credential, you don't have to go through ACC first. You can skip ACC and apply for PCC. That's what I did, by the way. I applied for PCC straight away, just skipped ACC. So that's an option. If you have enough hours, you can wait, or you can apply for ICF ACC. So what I would do, I don't know your coaching hours status, where you are with regards to 100 hours with to apply for ACC or 500 hours for PCC, Rick. But I would focus on building my coaching hours during this time. And for example, a lot of students, and we have so many students, they had enough hours on the day they finished module 6 and they applied straight to ICF because they had the hours right after they finished module 6. So that's what I would recommend.
I can speak.
A question to you.
Abdul, it really the deciding factor here is where are your clients? If they are on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is great. If you think you'll find them on Facebook, go to Facebook. If you think that they will want to look for a website so that they can have credibility, that would be your next step. Do you need to be all over all social media and have your own perfect website before you start coaching? No, absolutely not. In fact, that would hold you back. If you think about that you might want to start advertising, then you might want to consider, where would I advertise? Would it be Google? Would it be Facebook? Would it be LinkedIn? That might decide which platforms you want to set yourself up as, establish yourself on. But you don't need a website of your own. Let's get a bunch of clients and make a bunch of money first, and then have a killer website. But all you really need is your LinkedIn profile to start.
Yeah. And some testimonials would be helpful too. So one piece of advice I know other students did, we have this is for all coaches, student coaches, but especially for flow coaches. So we have private groups on LinkedIn and Facebook, just for flow coaches. Our coaches coach each other, which means that they exchange a service together. That is considered as paid coaching, and you can build your testimonials even out of that type of coaching. To build your support system is important. So use other flow students as your support system. Thank you, Rick and Adrian. Thank you. I saw your message now. So thank you, everyone. So I'm just aware that it's almost and even past 1 minute. So, and at the end of our live session, it just goes like this in a blink. And we have one more question from Abdul. Per our recon charge here on so not underestimate. Abdul, I say one thing. So I would start with, if you finish module 5, I would start with $100 at least. I would start with that at least. But it really is, you can create bundles also. You can say my sessions are 150, and then if you buy X amount of sessions, here is the discount. You can do that too. Yeah. Okay. So when you finish modules 1 to 5, you're very you have everything to coach. Sydney, Candy, yay! Yes.
So this is like flow. Time just flies by as we talk about what we are intrinsically in love with doing. So thank you, Talia, for this great opportunity to share our profession.
That's wonderful. Sydney?
Thank you. It's been great. It's wonderful to hang out with Candy again, who was my business coach. Yes. And Talia, who is my mentor. Thank you. This has been great.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you, both of you.
Thank you,
really
Talia.
very proud. And I'm very proud of our community as well. And thank you, everyone, for joining and staying with us until the end. Wait for us, because during pandemic, we paused because there was a lot of videos, webinars, sessions on the internet. Now we resumed again. Please watch for emails and our social media, and because we will continue with different guests each time with different and interesting topics. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.